From book 2 onwards, I recommend learning the left hand, or the hand which plays the accompaniment, first, and then learning the right hand, or the melody hand. When each hand can be played fluently, from memory, then start to put its hands together. I recommend the accompaniment first, because it's important not to neglect the accompaniment. It's always exciting to learn a new piece, start learning a new piece, and so it's a very good idea to start with the accompaniment, and when that's been learned, then learn the melody, and in that way the accompaniment is practiced for twice as long as the melody before starting to put the hands together. In fact, one may often have 2 or 3 pieces that have been learned hands separately before the first of those may be put hands together. Ecossaise by Hummel is a dance in duple time, in 2 beats in a bar, and in ternary form. That is A, B, A. The first section, A, the middle section, contrasting section, B, and a repeat of the first section, A. The left hand in the opening section, the A section, is very spiky. I recommend on the first chords to get the fingertips working well for lovely crisp big sound. A slight accent on the 3rd chord, the first beat of bar 2, as marked in the score. Then legato to the F, very smooth from bar 2 to bar 3. In the middle section, at bar 17, the B section, the left hand now, instead of being spiky, is very smooth and rather soft. I recommend playing the bass line alone with finger 5 until the last note is a finger 4. As legato as possible. We need to hear that bass line singing through. Then the quavers, the tenor line, very soft, very smooth. When played both voices together, bass and tenor, listen for legato from one bar to the next. We need this, not, because the little finger has to be replayed and can't be perfectly legato, it's easy to lift the moving line as well. So we need to practice the first bar. Make sure the thumb is being held and lift the 5th finger and play the first chord of the 2nd bar. Hold the thumb, lift Mr. 5. Hold the thumb, lift the 5th finger. Hold the thumb, lift the 5th finger. At bar 22 to 23, there's a big leap, which involves going from a G to G. There are 2 things here. First of all, the high G shouldn't be loud. It's easy to bump that because the hand is going to have to stretch and goes out of balance for a moment. So practice with a soft, controlled thumb and then stretch. Now the second point is that small hands may well not be able to play that legato. So what I'm doing is just slightly, just lifting at the last moment on the top G. We want it soft, that. If the note is soft, it won't seem, the break between the Gs will be less obvious. The other thing is to have a rounded end to that G. If it's got a cut-off end, again it seems more obvious that there's a hole in the sound. But a rounded sound, just let it float off at the end. And gently down to the bottom one. Practice just gentle octaves to get the feeling of the movement. In the right hand, the opening section, the A section, is based on an arpeggio figure. Practice first the second bar, emphasising the rainbow shape. Lift finger 5 and roll forward so that finger 4 is well inside the keys and finger 2 is well inside, and then point to the thumb. A twinkle hand, twinkle hand, twinkle hand, stretch and a twinkle hand. Not useful to practice. Ready and ready and ready and. The active fingertips for maintaining a twinkle hand between one note and the next note and the next note and the next note. Play it without stops. Double staccato. Very relaxed twinkle hand all the way through. Single staccato. Legato. Retaining this circular movement. Then put the first bar in front of it. The first bar, these little circular movements. Continue the same circular movements, and when we get to bar 4, it's a 3-note slur, down, up. So you drop onto the first note for a bigger sound, and the wrist starts to move up and you just catch the last note. In bar 17, the middle section, we start strongly. It's that squeeze sound. When we get to the A's, in bar 18, feel the duple pulse. Strong, soft. Very often repeated notes, the second note should not be played in the same way as the first note, and here, because it's a second beat, it's played softer. And practice finding this top C. We've ended rather softly and gently, and then we have to move a whole octave to find the next C. Make a big rainbow. Just practice the octave on its own. A soft C at the bottom and a big C at the top. Here at bars 21 and 22 we have slurs. Strong, soft, legato, and slightly short, a float off on the second note. It's the same technique as we've had in Allegro. Down, up. In fact, bar 20 is also is also a slur. And then we have a little grace note in bar 23. The first note very soft, the second note strong, from Please Squeeze Me. The first note, the finger very close to the key, the second note, the finger lifting for the big strong sound. The whole piece has terraced dynamics. It's either forte or it's piano. It's worth working especially on the soft sections, because by this stage pupils are often fairly competent with the strong sounds but may not have practiced soft sounds so much. So take a soft section such as at bar 9 and practice it with beautiful soft sounds. Then when the soft sounds seem good, start with the loud section, and at the end of the loud section put in a stop to give time to think about the fact there's now a different dynamic, a different feeling. Stop at each dynamic change. Stop. Think. Now I'm going to play soft.